Okay, hello everybody. This is Wolf Movies, or Wolf Movie Reviews, or I guess I'm going to call myself Wolf Movie. As you know, as you guys are all asking, first of all, is what the heck are you doing with a movie channel? Yeah, what am I doing with another channel? I'm doing another channel because I want to be more open to everyone's. I want to be more open, and I want to get to the problem. Okay, so it's not a problem, but I just want to be open and get to the point of why I made this channel. So I want to be more diverse. So what is this? What is this guy going to talk about today? Let's get on. Okay, so first we're gonna go with Marvel versus DC, and we're just going with the TV shows. We're not going with movies yet because that's not. So I'm just starting off slow with movies. No, I'm starting off slow with TV shows. I could mess up from time to time and say stuff that isn't accurate, but right now I'm gonna try to make it accurate as possible. So let me give you my first opinion on why I think Marvel is kind of bad compared to DC. And don't get me wrong, DC has much more things that are bad too, but that's not the point. The point of this is to show you first off my opinion why I feel that Marvel is bad. So I'm gonna say this is part one. So let's go on. So the reason that I feel that Marvel has more bad things in their bag than DC is because, well, first, but like I said, we're first going to be talking about the TV shows. We're not going with movies yet. We're just going with the TV shows. So the first thing that I feel that they have bad was Agent Peggy Carter. Okay, so I am not sure when it took place, the TV show. I didn't really search that up, but you guys can let me know in the comments down below what you thought Agent Peggy Carter when it took place, because I know that it took place before. I think I'm not 100% sure, but you can get me the information later. You guys that feel that I did a good job on this video. So what I feel is that Agent Peggy Carter, she's an agent. She first starts off in New York, which is the same thing that happens with Captain America. They're both in New York, and they're both part of the World War. I'm not sure if they're part of World War I and World War II or just World War I. But as we saw in the movie, because we kind of have to reference that Agent Peggy Carter is part of, I think she was part of the event, part of Captain America, the first one. Not Civil War, just the first one. I think it was just called Captain America. Okay, so she was at that time, and I felt that Captain America in that first movie fought against Hitler, which was supposedly the devil. But the point that I'm gonna try to make is that Captain America died. I think he died in a plane crash or something, and that's why Agent Peggy Carter, she went back to, on the TV show, she went and got hired again by an agency, I think, or by the police or something. She got hired, but she did it because she felt that she had lost a friend, which was Captain America. But the show had a lot of potential. Agent Peggy Carter had a lot of potential because she went for mysteries. She went to try to take down her enemy, people who were trying to take her down. But it had a lot of potential because they spent a lot of money on the effects, on the action, but they didn't really show the action in that TV show. They didn't show a lot of action because the plan was to have 8 episodes for every season, and the thing that failed was that there wasn't a lot of action. That's where I would say, in my opinion, the plot or the story failed, was that it was more of talking. But I really liked it because I really liked Peggy Carter. I gave Peggy Carter a chance. Agent Peggy Carter, the TV show, I gave it, in my opinion, I was giving it a good rating for what it was, because they were able to have the old stuff and try to bring kind of like new things into that program. But it fell short with the action. It was just more blah 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 blah, but more dialogue than action, which is why this show failed, because it just didn't have any. I mean, it had action, but it had more of this mystery. Oh, we're gonna get to the fighting, and then when it felt like they were about to get to the fighting, they never fought. But the thing that I felt that this show kind of, I will say, it's kind of confusing at the same time. The thing that made this show kind of fail was that Agent Peggy Carter had weapons from the future and weapons from the past. But I mean, not weapons from the past, but I would say kind of her the way they try to show it was that she was back like in the 60s or something like that, with characters that were not mentioned. I mean, with people that were not from now, like Jarvis. Jarvis was, I'm not sure if Jarvis was a weapon or something, but Jarvis was mentioned way too many times in Agent Peggy Carter. But the thing was, it wasn't centered on no superheroes that we know now. Like, say, it wasn't around no Captain America. It wasn't around no Iron Man, no Hulk, no Spider-Man. It was just about Agent Peggy Carter, and she was the only superhero in that part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I guess I would say cinematic universe or TV show universe, because I'm not sure if the TV shows go with what the movies go. I don't know if you can say the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that's not what it is. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm not sure. I'm basing it off of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there was no other superhero out there. So I guess I'm not really sure if Peggy Carter brought from the past to the future, or Peggy Carter is before. I would say it is before. In my opinion, I would say that Peggy Carter is before the first Captain America, the one where he's dreaming, or he's been in the time capsule for many years, and all this movie takes place in the past, and it takes place in World War One, and at the end he finds out that he's been asleep for many years, or for 70 years, I think, and then he comes out and he finds out that he's in New York in 2000. I would say like 2013 or something like that. I'm basing it off what I think that the movie took place, but I'm not sure if Captain America came out in 2013. But don't get me wrong. So that's what I'm thinking, that Agent Peggy Carter was amazing with the way they had it. It was amazing, but the thing that failed was that there wasn't a lot of action, which they did present a lot of stuff that could make it into action. Like, yeah, you have the potential, but then you let it fall off again. So that's the first thing that I felt sucked with Agent Peggy Carter, was that, yeah, it had a lot of potential, but they let it fall off because of the visuals. I would say the visuals were good, but the thing was that they were missing the action parts. And then in the end, they had 2 seasons, but we went through season 1, I think the complete season 1 or something like that. I'm not sure if it was a whole complete season that they went through, but I think it had canceled with season 1. But somehow, since it's Marvel, they have all the money they can to try to pitch in for season 2, but it was on ABC. So for me, I would say that Agent Peggy Carter, they had a season 1, and then they left me off with just like that. Just left me with a cliffhanger, like, what's happening? It just ended. It didn't have no significance on why. To me, it didn't have any significance on the ending. It just went. It's like it's over. And I thought they were still going to continue or something, because I thought that season 1 was still going with New York and still going, and they were still going to give us what they were actually going from season 1 to the end, because every season has from a beginning of what's the mystery, and then they try to keep it to the end of season 1, where it's like, oh, we're trying to fight this guy, but we're trying to do it in a way that we take him down through the whole season, or we're gonna fight him. We're gonna fight this guy named Brian. We're gonna fight him, and we're gonna get him during the middle of the season and say, Brian, we got you. And then after he does some kind of magical trick that he pulls out his butt and disappears, and say, whoa, how did we miss it? How did we let Brian disappear? But that wasn't the point of that. I mean, that wasn't what Agent Peggy Carter was. It just left me with the ending as that, just like disappointment. Like, what did we end on? It's just like not even significant. Just saying they leave you with cliffhanger. Like, what did I watch the whole series, the first season for, if it had nothing significant during the end? Like, nothing really to close up the first season and say, wow, first season, damn. Nothing. It was just like, whatever, just get on with it, and now go watch season 2 when we bring it out. And then season 2, as we know, season 2 as we know, she moved from New York. She got on a plane. I guess she got on a plane and came to Los Angeles, and we got to see the Los Angeles area, which that's where I'm from, and that's where I live right now, Los Angeles, California. And I felt that, yeah, again, it had a lot of potential again. They had all that stuff. They could make up any magical stuff into that program, and I'm like, yeah, wow, Agent Peggy Carter's back. Now that she's in, I even had a lot of thought in my mind, potential. It's like, yeah, okay, the first season was not great, but second season better be good, because if they were able to come out with season 2, they're able to come out with a better storyline, more action, because you cannot have a storyline without action. Like, it's Marvel. What are you expecting? Marvel, you have to have some kind of fighting style in it to say it's good. So that's where I'm going with that. Marvel in this instance sucked. It was bad. I'm not trying to downgrade Marvel and say, oh yeah, DC is 1000% better or something, but that's where I said that Marvel had Agent Peggy Carter had potential for season 1, but they let it go. And season 2 was okay, but then they fell short when they just got canceled. They just got canceled from one day to another. And then the second show, in my opinion, that I felt, the second show that I feel failed to grasp me was Inhumans. That's where I'm going with. Inhumans got canceled. I never saw it. I'm not going to say that I saw it, but I never felt that, to me, it was that great. The problem that I'm having with all these all these shows, all these movies that are Marvel and DC, is with both. The thing that I have with both is that both, then I would say the only thing that I have with all these Marvel, these superhero TV shows like the Inhumans, the problem with Inhumans, for me, just for me, I'm not saying everybody else, I'm just saying, in my opinion, the Inhumans failed because I'm not the type of guy that is more of, okay, we got one character, and let's put them all together. Let's put 20 characters into one TV show, and let's try to make it run run, try to make a run and try to make it great. The problem that I'm having is that I'm not the type of guy to have many superheroes. That's what made me love Spider-Man. It made me love Spider-Man because Spider-Man movies is just like one person fights the villain, not like billions of people having to fight one villain and then another millions of people. Like say the Justice League, that's where I kind of had the ups and downs with the TV shows, and the same thing goes for the Avengers, where I'm like, how come you have one character fight one thing, and then the second character fight another villain, and then the third character fight another villain? Like, for reals, like, just keep it one superhero. I'm not really hating on none of that, but I'm just saying that Inhumans had too many characters in it, just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Inhumans had too many characters. We're gonna put these two together. The Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. go in the same hand for me. Go in the same, because they have too many characters, and the problem is that with too many characters, all the characters can go to one side. I mean, like, they can all separate into superheroes, like individual superheroes, and then that's when you go with one being cool, the other one being cool too, whatever, and so on, and then they all fight different villains, like, for reals. Okay, then one guy got captured and he's in the basement. Now let's bring the next superhero to save him, but the third superhero is also locked up. It's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy, where I kind of had that. I mean, I don't know how, but Guardians of the Galaxy was better than all of this. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me goes with the same thing. So Inhumans got cancelled, while Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had the time frame already cut, where it was like, we're gonna cancel this, but somehow they got something out of their butt and said, yes, we're bringing it back, and it was stronger. And that's where I'm going. So I've talked a lot, and now I have to say that Peggy Carter and all of these got canceled, except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Even though I'm not really an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because now they have too many superheroes, then they brought Ghost Rider, and they brought all of this together. Then they try to say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't have anything, all of these TV shows don't have anything to do with the movies versions, and then sometimes they try to bring the movies into the TV show, and then they still said, no, this is not part of the movies. None of this has to do with the movies, but they did show all kinds of stuff from the movies. And then they try to put, oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that has to do something with the X-Men or something like that, with all kinds of stuff, but that's not. So that's the three that I felt were really bad. Then let's go with the fourth one, which is Jessica Jones. Don't get me wrong, Jessica Jones season 1 was, wow, it was powerful. It was amazing for me. But the thing that I have with Jessica Jones is that Jessica Jones, she's a psychotic person that tries to get into minds and try to figure out her villain, which in the season 1 was she had to fight against Kilgrave, which was, or the purple, I think it's called the Purple Man. If it's not Kilgrave, you call it the Purple Man. And then Jessica Jones, it had good things going for it, that she was made in a facility. No, she wasn't made in a facility. She was taken to a facility, to a mental facility or hospital, and then they injected her with some kind of medicine, and then she became a superhero. And then she said, I'm not the type of superhero that goes around and starts kicking butt, which she did fight, but she did justice. And from the beginning, it was that she didn't know why she was fighting and why she was crazy, and then in the end we found out that it was Kilgrave all along. But the only problem I had with season 1, the only downside, the only bad thing I had for season 1 was that Jessica Jones had the potential to take down Kilgrave, but She had from the beginning to the end where she had Kilgrave in her power, and she tried to say, "Oh yeah, Kilgrave, we're gonna take you down. Kilgrave, Kilgrave, Kilgrave this and Kilgrave that," but she didn't beat him up. She didn't defeat him until the end, until she finished him off in the end. Even though she had him in her hand, she had him in her custody the whole time. She had Kilgrave the whole time in her custody. When she says, "I'm not the type of superhero that goes around killing people, then I'm a criminal." Yeah, I kind of get that. I kind of get that because, yeah, superheroes are not meant to just go. People are not just meant to go around and killing people. And I would say that I would say that Jessica Jones, because I kind of got confused already. I gotta say that Jessica Jones is not a superhero because she's not the type that's in a cape like the Batman. She's not in a suit like she's not in a suit like Spider-Man. She's not in a suit like Superman. None of that. So that's where we said, yeah, Jessica Jones, you had good things going on for you. You had psychotic stuff, you had weird stuff going on with that. But then we go to season 2, and then season 2 is more of that stuff that she didn't fight. She didn't really fight at all. And the next thing is that Jessica Jones kind of let me down because she didn't have any fighting, and then she didn't have any motive of why she didn't have any villain in season 2. Which, if you guys haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it and watch what I'm saying. That she doesn't have a villain. She doesn't have a motive, which is kind of a letdown. But as every other person has already mentioned, that they're on Netflix. It doesn't matter if they're bad or not. They're not going to get canceled anyways, because that's the thing. So Jessica Jones season 2 was more of a letdown than season 1, but that's where I said all of these shows have the potential to do better, but then they let themselves go short. So now we're going with our very first DC TV show that I felt had good stuff going for it. Gotham has a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of dialogue. They have a lot of action. Except if you guys have seen Gotham, the only part that kind of gets me is that the part where Bruce Wayne, Batman, talks to Selina Kyle, Catwoman, and they try to get together. They love each other, then they fight each other, then they love each other, fight each other, then they stop talking to each other, then they come back and I'm your friend again. But that's the only bad thing that I felt was not good with that. There's some times where the show has no fighting because it has nothing to do with anything. They just randomly decide to go off the course and do another story that they just cut short again because it has nothing to do with what's going on with the whole entire show. But Gotham, in my opinion, gets the win. It gets the win because it's been going for 4 seasons already, I think. This is the 4th or 5th season, and I felt this show has a lot of good stuff going for it. Except for in the season 1 to season 2, they were doing 1 hour of, we're gonna go with one villain and we're gonna kill him off in the end of this episode. But then in season 2 or 3, I'm not really gonna go with season 2, but I'm gonna say season 3 is when they decided, okay, we're gonna have this villain and we're gonna make him go from the first episode to the 3rd episode, and we're gonna kill him off. But Gotham is more different because in Gotham it's GCPD versus the villains. It's not about Bruce Wayne, Batman versus the villains. And the kind of letdown that I have, it's kind of a letdown and kind of a good thing, because in this whole series that I've been watching Gotham, I felt that from the first episode to the last episode, but I'm saying of one season only, from the beginning to the end, there is the villain. The villains change, because from the first one it's like, okay, the first one is Penguin. Penguin has nothing to do with anything. He doesn't get killed at all. So Penguin is the one that he doesn't get killed at all. Okay. Then, because every episode has a new villain. It's not. I mean, every 2 episodes now has a new villain, which is like villain 1, villain 2. But the problem is that I don't get why. I'm not really sure why in Gotham they get one villain, like say the Joker, and then they bring him to. They don't kill him at all. They don't take him down. They're like, okay, the Joker. I don't know why the big villains get killed. I mean, they don't get killed while the smaller villains get killed. They get killed off in like, okay, they're not gonna get killed off in the first episode, but they're gonna get killed off in the 3rd episode, or they're gonna get killed off in the 5th episode. And that's the same thing with Flash. So, in my opinion, the first 3, which I said Peggy Carter, Inhumans, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., are bad. They're bad in my opinion. Except Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was able to come back. They were able to come back from the dead. So we're not really going to be talking about all of this anymore. So we're going to say that Gotham, The Flash, Smallville, and Arrow have been doing good. Okay, so they've been doing good. Out of those 4, Gotham, The Flash, Smallville, Arrow have been doing good. So the thing I have to say is that the real longest program that's been going on for a long time is Smallville. Smallville has been going for a very long time, and I think Smallville ended in 2010, I believe. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't quote me on that and just say I said it ended in 2010. But I really feel that DC TV, which is Detective Comics television, the television programs, I feel that do good. They are amazing. I've never seen any of them get canceled. And if they get canceled, I just don't understand what's wrong. And I have to check in that. But at the moment, I feel that almost all DC TV, I feel that all DC TV shows have not been canceled at all. They've been doing good. But there are some here and there that, yes, have been canceled. But now that we are to the end of our show, now that we're at the end of this video, I want to ask you guys. No, first, before I get to the end, because now we said the problem with all of this, everything, including DC and Marvel, the bad things that we have right now. Bad. The bad things right now is that how can they keep a TV show going for a very long time when they have to have more than 3 seasons? I mean, like Smallville had more than 3 seasons, definitely, and that was a good one because it went through many years without getting canceled. And I'm not sure if it had a point where it almost got canceled or not. But the thing is, how can they make TV shows go on for many years without having their bad things? Because there are other TV shows out there that try to say that, I mean, they're there to try to take down the other TV shows. Like, say, there are TV shows to try to take down Gotham and make you say Gotham sucks and you can now watch this one in Gotham's place. But that's not how it works. If people like Gotham, then they're like, yeah, go on. And the thing that I have right now is that how can they make... My thing is that movies are successful because they go on with one movie, which is 3 hours. They just give it the rounding number of 3 hours and say, yeah, 3 hours for one movie, but they're not going to come out with another. Like, say we have Batman, the movie. They would just say the Super Batman or Batman Black Bat movie. and then they say, yeah, we have one movie that's coming out in theaters today, and it's 3 hours long, and then we can go on with that movie for a long time, and then we can give it 3-4 years and not have another Batman for another year, another 4 or 5 years, or 6 or 10 years, and then we can go on with that, and we can come out with another superhero to take its place for now, and 3-4 years of that, and then we bring another superhero, 3-4 years of that, and then so on. Which I feel that movies get the win for that, because they don't have to come out with another movie next year of another Batman, and so on. And that's where they can have the longevity. While the TV shows, they have to come out with one episode one day, then the next week another episode, the week after another episode, and so on. And then they have to go on for 20 seasons. I'm just exaggerating. Just gonna go with 20 seasons and say, yeah, 20 seasons of jumble mess. But that's why there's people that say the companies, the TV, the companies like ABC says, nope, we're not letting you go on because this is just a jumble mess that you have. So Gotham, The Flash, Smallville, and Arrow are 4 of the episodes I felt have a win for me. And I'm not just trying to say that I'm more of a DC man when I have to say, no, I'm not DC, but I love DC and I love Marvel. Just like the thing that I can highly think in my mind. The thing that I have in my mind that I can say is amazing is Deadpool. That's one thing that I can say can go on for a long time. They can just put random stuff in it and just say, yeah, it's good. Okay, now I guess we got to the end, and now let me ask you my closing question for all of you out there watching this video. How can a TV show, how can a superhero TV show last long as a movie? How can they continue going from the first season to the 20th season? Let's just say the first season to the 20th season without having a jumbled mess or almost cancellation. How can someone make a TV show go on for many years without having a disaster? Because I know all of this. I know how it goes. I know that as growing up, I know how this goes already. For all of you that don't get it, I got it already. I get that every TV show anyways, even how good it is, no matter how amazing a TV show is or a movie is, it has to come to an end anyways. Why? Because they just don't want to have the show going for 20 more years with screwing it up, with making bad episodes or something like that. Even though they have good stuff going, they don't want to continue and say, I want it. I know the fans want a program. It's like people get old. People don't want to do that stuff anymore. They don't have the power to do that. They don't have the strength to do it anymore. And that's how it is. So my question is, but before I ask the question again, I know that every TV show, even though it's amazing, it could be the best, it has to come to an end. Sometime it has to come to an end. And that's the sad part that I have. That's the sad part that I have. For me, that's very sad that even the best shows out there come to an end and say, that's it. It's the end of the line for you. Now, it's over. And that's where I have my sad part right now. It's so sad that it has to be that way, but it's just that way. So, before this video's over, I'm gonna ask you guys, what is it that in your opinion, what is it that these writers, these producers, these guys that want to make a TV show, what is the biggest flaw that makes their TV shows fail? What is it that, I have 2 questions now that I'm asking this one. I only had one, but now I'm asking, what is the thing that every TV show has that brings them down to to cancellation. And what is it that some TV shows have that give it the big rating, the big thing that they say, okay, season 1 closed with a good rating, now let's go with season 2. Then they go with season 2 and it's another good rating. Then they go with season 3 and so on, and they continue on for a long time. But what is it? These two questions again. What is it that brings TV shows to an end, to cancellation, or just to the end? And what brings viewers to certain TV shows that make it continue going for a very long time? They make it go for 10 years or 5 years and so on. So please let me know in the comments down below on what you think of all of these topics that I've been talking about, on this topic of the cancellation of some shows, the good things of these shows, and the question I just asked. So I have to say, we've come to the end of this video, and I have to say that thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll be coming back with another video sometime this week. And now we are at the end. Now, thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day. Peace.